A year and a half ago, Tom Paxinos was in a coma after taking a 40-foot fall off a section of the rims. Well, we're happy to provide a much better update tonight from Tom himself. Q2's Jenny Fick spoke to Tom's neurosurgeon, who explained exactly what happened.
I fell on March 27th, and then I was asleep for, I think, 17 days.
Dr. Ross was Tom's neurosurgeon, the man who they say literally held Tom's brain in his hands.
I got the call that there had been a gentleman that had fallen off the rims. He was attempting to prevent his dog from falling off the rims.
Dr. Ross immediately determined that the extent of Tom's injuries were severe and required surgery.
He was walking at the scene, so he was initially awake and then before collapsing. And so when they brought him in, I was at least somewhat optimistic that his primary injury may be confined to the place where his skull had been damaged and not extensively throughout the brain.
Dr. Ross and his team were able to mitigate any possible secondary injury to the brain.
I find that with communicating to my patients, I have the best response with just being straightforward, being honest.
Sitting there, going through the trauma with them, make them feel like they're being cared. They're part of the whole process.
The nurses bridge a gap between patients and doctors with often more relatable jargon.
They have their shifts, but they come in and that communication is being relayed, and a lot of those same nurses take care of that same patient over and over, and they develop such a connection. Take the time and show the care to make the bed or ask you, hey, can I get you a glass of water? Rather than, oh yeah, just go over there.
Would meet with the trauma team every morning. We asked every question that we had, and they answered every single one of them.
Tom's loved ones say that the nurses and other providers made all the difference.
We forget that they're not just like doing charts and they're not just administering medications and whatnot. They were making my bed every night. So they really catered to all of us, and they were so compassionate and thoughtful with everything they did.
For me, it's very heartwarming to see him when he walks through the door and he's doing so well. I don't know what it's like for him to see this total stranger, that he walks in and say, yeah, this is the guy who operated on you. But, the family, you develop a good relationship.
In Billings, Jenny Fick, MTN News.
Thanks, Jenny. Dr. Ross says that one thing that helps maintain a local proficient team is the Nellis Nurse Foundation, which helps fund and continue healthcare education and eventually employment. The foundation will be accepting call-in donations from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow for their annual fundraiser.